computer's.
Oh, now we're
live.
We're live.
What's up? All right, it says we're going live.
Hey, G-Ryzen, you'll hear this in like a minute, but just be quiet so I can start the show. Hey, what's up? G-Ryzen has 1999 internet. We're all good, guys. We're all good. We're here. It's just, you know, the internet gremlins went and they ate G-Ryzen. So hello, everybody. Ron canceled my subscription. You guys are the best. Complain. We just start the show. It's only 12 minutes late. Good God. And for any of you in the chat that have questions, write them now so that G-Ryzen will see them before the end of the show and he can try to answer those questions. I got AP here. It's Holden, G-Ryzen, of course, with his 1998 connection. Wonderful to see you, pal. AP, what are you doing? The playbook right now? You getting that done?
Yeah, most of it's up. Just, you know, mainly right now it's waiting for lineups. There's a lot of things like catcher position today. I really want to see what these lineups look like. And so there's just a few things that we'll clean up, but otherwise most of it's up, about 85% done. And yeah, we'll finish it while we're hammering out the show.
Beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. I would go to G-Ryzen, but I feel like he should just sit there like the two old guys in the Muppets that just sit there. You can just complain and make fun of us the whole time, G-Ryzen. Actually, why don't you get in the chat and just two old guys in the Muppets that just sit there. You can just complain and make fun of us. This is weird, man. AP, let's just get into this, okay? You ready to go?
G-Ryzen, like, you got to mute yourself, dude. Is that where the echo's coming from?
What a debacle. Okay, here we go. We're gonna G-Ryzen. If that internet cleans up, we'll do it. If not, we'll just go and do our thing. AP, real quick, what do we got? Open 50 is because I mean this. If you don't think that this is amazing content, how could you not sign up right now after watching this content? Open 50 is the code right now. Correct, Mr. AP?
Yeah, that is correct. Open 50. It's going to get you 50% off your first payment, I believe. So, you know, summer months, we got NFL right around the corner, and it's going to be here much quicker than we all think. So come sign on up and win some money.
G-Ryzen, who is your internet provider? It's North Korea. They're just still trying to catch up on their technology, but it'll get to him sooner than later. G-Ryzen, give Kim a call, would you? Tell him to speed things up. All right, so yeah, net zero. AP, let's go look at the pitching. Okay, you and me, we're gonna have a good time. Yeah. Like I said,
we'll have a good time.
Yeah, G-Ryzen's gonna hang out. So what do we got? Nola was scratched today with the COVID. I mean, this is at least he popped positive. They took everything down on the betting line. So I was like, well, hold on, what happened here? And then
did that recently just happen?
What, the Nola thing?
Yeah.
Everything is down. Yeah, he was scratched because of COVID. The COVID. So he's out today, and that's just going to change everything, isn't it? So it should change everything.
Honestly, so like for me, I had him quite a ways down on my pitching ranking list. I have Pablo Lopez as my top pitcher today, going against a Braves team without Acuna. So it's just going to be a watered down lineup. Pablo Lopez, throws strikes. He's very cheap, 7,300 on DraftKings. I think this slate though is loaded. There's many pitching options. Woodruff, Robbie Ray. You can make case for like Ian Anderson, Barrios. All of these guys are in play. I have 6 guys right now in my pitching pool, so that is going to be a very important part to get correct. Obviously, it is on every slate, but I think this one more so than not. And then with that, whenever we have a decent pitching slate, we have less stacks. I mean, it makes the stacks a little bit tougher outside of, I think, 2, which will be, clear chalk stacks. But, but for me, pitching wise, I don't know. I'm going to be curious to see what G-Ryzen says. If he can get his stuff fixed. But, I'm really leaning towards like a Lopez, maybe pairing him with like a Woodruff, or even just going down, being cheap with
Alien's got me. Yeah.
With Barrios and Lopez. So I think there's many ways you can go today. I think you just go with whoever your favorite guy is, though.
Yeah, I think the Nola thing for me, he wasn't on my list there, but once we get to offense, like the Boston Bats have just been going bananas anyways, right? So just back the Boston Bats again since Nola's out.
Yeah.
And it'll be a bullpen day for one of the worst bullpens in the history of the world.
Yep. Yeah, that's, as I update the playbook right now, that's definitely going to be so I already had the Red Sox, when I started my research early this morning, I even liked them as a stack against Nola. He gives up a lot of hits. He gives up home runs. Obviously, he's got a lot of good stuff. But, man, Boston is just hitting the ball so well right now. So you have to love this stack even more. And so I throw them up there with the White Sox stack. Those are going to be the two chalky stacks. And then I also, the Twins. I know we're not to stacks yet, but, I think the Twins are going to be up there as well.
How do we trust the Twins, dude? It's like every time.
Well, you trust them when they're not chalk. When they're chalk, you can't trust them. And I don't think they're going to be chalk today because we got the White Sox and we got now the Red Sox in phenomenal spots.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like the word of RPS, we should just come out with RPS shirts that say phenomenal. Everybody uses phenomenal. I mean, I want to give Hoop the credit for that AP. But I'm not so sure it was him. I mean, it could have been you. It could have been JSU or Big T. It's just phenomenal. We need a phenomenal T-shirt here. Are you ready to do that, AP?
Yeah, we can do that. G Rising, were you trying to say something? You're on mute, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, what a debacle, man.
And you got to have a hurtful shirt.
There he is. There he is.
All right, there he is. He's back.
Hey.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Woo! All right. Now, G Rising, get your shit together. I got to get on the bet side at the top of the hour. I'm going to ask you this question now. Hopefully, you'll answer it within the next 5 minutes. Pitching today. Give me the top 3 or 4 guys
Woodruff
you're considering on
on
FanDuel.
top. He has the best K upside, I think, but
yeah, we can't do this, G Rising. Just
Woodruff,
shut it down, dude.
Lopez are for my 2 favorite guys. I do like paying up for Woodruff today. He's probably got the best K upside, but Lopez.
So the funny thing about this is G Rising is the one.
My computer.
G Rising's the one hosting the show or producing it. Holden's hosting. G Rising's producing, and we're fine. I got the YouTube up right now, Holden.
Everything's good.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah. Everything's good, man. We're fine. Let's just act like nothing's going on.
I'll just sit here and smile.
That's all we need you to do. Seriously, go get
and write us notes, G Rising, and put yourself on mute so that we're not getting the echo.
Yes, and then make sure you start drinking. We will, at least if you're going to be in the picture, drink. Yeah. Okay. Up. Great. All right. So you and me need to talk about, and you should totally be handing the playbook thing off. By the way, there's no way you're just going to be. You got to do both things, but here we go. And I know you brought some of these guys up, but Nola's out, scratched with the COVID, whatever. Yeah. Woodruff. Okay, so Woodruff at the top of the list, 10K on DK. My question for you, Robbie Ray is another guy that stands out. Chris Bassett is another guy that stands out. So Ray and Bassett. Will you have much of them? Because I didn't hear too much of the pitching breakdown. So Ray and Bassett, dude.
So, yeah, let's start with Bassett. I mean, the Rangers right now are actually hitting the ball really well right now. So, like, I don't have him on my list. He's, on the season, 4.1 xFIP. And then over the last 30 days, it's actually increased. And so, and his strikeout rate has gone down. And factor in that the Rangers are actually hitting the ball pretty good. Joey Gallo just honestly, like, he's up there just hitting bombs every day. Not as much as Ohtani, but, I mean, the guy has just been hitting it out of the park lately. So I'm not going to touch him. I do have interest in Robbie Ray. I also, I don't hate the idea of either one-offs or, a mini stack, though, of the Blue Jays. So I just think, Robbie Ray is still giving up quite a bit of hard contact. I feel like that game could be on both sides, could be a little sneaky, because if you look at Rich Hill, his stuff does not look good of late as well. He's given up a ton of fly balls. His strikeout rate has gone down. So I think that's a sneakier spot on this slate. But honestly, as we always say, when it comes to pitching, I think you keep it easy today. I think you go with guys that have good strikeout upside, and you then go with the other guys that have good matchups and try to find guys that have both. And, Pablo Lopez is kind of right there. Barrios is right there. Woodruff, Robbie Ray. And then honestly, I'll be curious to what you think, though. Ian Anderson is a guy I'm looking at, too. Like, I love attacking that park. The Marlins play in. I think you can make a case for either side of, either pitcher in that game.
So my question for you would be then, because Ian Anderson is the K upside there right now, because, I mean, what are we looking at? 4 or 5 today against the Marlins. And it's interesting. He's 8-3 on both sites. He's 8-3. I mean, are we throwing him out there because of the ballpark? Is that what it's going to be? You throw 8-3 plus the ballpark, and that's why you're going with Ian Anderson? I mean, for me, I'm kind of looking at Robbie Ray and Woodruff right now. Those are 2 guys at the top of my list. So I understand the Anderson pick here. Actually, I just don't know if his ceiling is going to be where it needs to be this afternoon. Agree or disagree?
I mean, hold it. When I bring him up, I said he's a guy that's just barely making it into the pool. He's not a guy like I'm super high on. My top 2 are Pablo Lopez and Barrios. And so I like the matchup there. I like their price tags. I do think that, this is going to be a slate where we might need some. I mean, actually, every slate, the outfield on DraftKings specifically is like always, you can always find value. So honestly, it's going to be a slate where you jam in Woodruff, and then you have one of these cheaper guys in Barrios or Lopez, or even you could go Robbie Ray too. I think that's fine. There's going to be enough value in the outfield to make it work.
Indians and Royals postponed. So as far as the weather goes, the only other game would be Wrigley, where they're supposed to have a little bit of clearing after first pitch. If they're not in a delay, before the game, I think that's a little scary for the pitchers. I don't know if Wainwright was on your list there. But AP, that would be the other one right now. And honestly, these are 2 dog shit teams anyways. Like I'm okay fading that whole game on top of the Royals Indians postponement. So just to let you know, Nola has been scratched. Royals Indians postponed. Some rain and some gross stuff in Chicago today. Those are the 3 things. So let me talk to you about the weather real quick. How are you handling that St. Louis Chicago situation? Was any of those guys on your radar to begin with? Because honestly, the Cubs look like they're just tanking now. Guys just don't give a shit.
I mean, I like attacking them, and then the other thing too with the Royals game, that was I was going to look at the pitchers there because I'm just attacking those 2 teams. The Royals suck right now. Cleveland sucks. They all suck. That part of the division, they're just all those teams suck except for the Twins because they're going to be good for us today, even though they usually suck when I get on them. But no, I wasn't going like I don't play the Cubs. I rarely ever stack them, even when the winds are blowing out like 15 miles an hour there, and they're always chalk. I avoid those spots. I don't know. The Cubs have not done it at all. Rarely ever all season. So
I will say this: normally we get these Sunday lineups where dudes are just taking off. I mean, the All-Star break starts at the end of the day, so you're going to see a lot of locked and loaded lineups today. We won't have the normal. What?
So we had a good question in chat. People are saying why Lopez is a trap. I look at a few key things. One is how the pitcher is pitching right now. Then I look at their matchup. So right away, the Braves are going to be without one of the best hitters in baseball. It's just going to make the matchup phenomenally better. I mean, it's just a shitty situation, but it is what it is. And then, Lopez at home, big ballpark. And he hasn't looked too bad. He's maintained, like his metrics have been fairly steady outside of a few starts all season. So 3.5 xFIP, 30% K rate over his last 30 days. He's given up hard hits, but again, that goes to the matchup. We get a better matchup now. So that high hard hit rate is something I'm discounting a little bit. And he's 7,300 on DraftKings, and allows you to easily get Brandon Woodruff. I would feel very good about that combination.
So you're fine with that. Okay. Yeah, I like Woodruff. We got some Castillo questions, things like that. Seems like we kind of narrowed down our pitching pool then. You want to just talk about just name the pool that we've come up with, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, it's Lopez, Barrios, Woodruff, Robbie Ray, Luis Castillo, and Ian Anderson.
All right. I like that. That's not a bad core whatsoever. So real quick, just to remind everybody, if you are joining us this morning, congrats to Hoop and Big T. Again, just taking things down left and right. And let's face it, people go, oh, members never win. Well, guess what? A whole bunch of our members won more money last night. It was completely awesome. And if you are not a member, don't judge us on G Risen's internet stream. I will say that. All you need to know is that open 50 for 50% off your first monthly payment. Open 50. What are you laughing about, AP?
G Risen tried to peek back in and then he just went away.
I know. What a debacle.
Oh, and real quick. All right. So we got Garrett in chat. Garrett, my job is to be transparent about what I'm playing. I also like to make money. So I'm trying to find the best place. So I'm trying to combo those two things. I'm trying to tell you what I'm playing. You don't have to play what I'm playing, though. If you don't like Lopez, go with Barrios. Go with Robbie Ray. Go with Woodruff, Robbie Ray. That's a fine combination. So
I think that's fine advice too. I don't blame you for saying that, AP. Anyways, open 50% off your first payment. And then aren't you guys giving out more tickets on the golf shows? What's going on there, AP? Poor AP's.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're definitely going to give away tickets on the golf show. It's what we do. It's a major championship. So yeah, I think there's the $100 Millie tickets. Tuesday and Wednesday night.
All right, Tuesday and Wednesday night, $100 tickets are going out. You got to be a member. You can be a subscriber already, but you're going to have to sign up for those shows. Open 50. The golf guys. It's just like everybody's on fire. I'd love to. I don't love to say. I'll just be honest with you. Everybody seems to win here. It just happens. Undo hitting. So what? We got no Gallo in the Rangers starting lineup today. Just when I got done saying, "Oh, everything's fine," no Joey Gallo in the lineup, and I don't understand why against Chris Bassett. Guy's been on fire. I mean, huh?
I said, give a bump to Bassett.
Now we want the Bassett.
Part of so let me go on another real quick rant. One common thing, we don't get it as much anymore, but it's like, why isn't the content out? Why isn't your core plays out? We wait for news. You got to see matchups. You got to see, and that helps to dictate your decision making. So now, no Gallo. I mean, it's potentially a better lineup. I don't think I'm going to play Chris Bassett, but if you liked him, the matchup's better now. So I would give him a bump.
Yeah, I like Bassett now even more. I was kind of on Bassett now. Bassett, Woodruff, I think those two guys, and then Lopez. I mean, can you go Lopez and Bassett and feel okay with the upside there? I think so. You can leave yourself a little bit of money today. Get some bats.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the offensive side. Garrett Mendenhall doesn't like Bassett's price. I know Gallo's in the Derby, but a lot of guys are going to be in the Derby, and they're not going to just sit the game out.
All right. So real quick, the price thing. Price does not matter today at pitching because there's so much, unless you're just trying to jam in all the best hitters, which that rarely ever wins tournaments. You rarely ever see that winning a tournament. It's something that, Big T does very well. JSU, they do very well. You're not going to just see a lineup loaded full of, all, named guys that like Joey Gallo, free, like you're going to have random guys mixed in there, random stacks. So I think it's very easy to make any of these pitchers work today. There's so much value in the outfield.
Who's the guy that said the Derby, that's why he's out? We the people. We the people, you know what? You're right, because I'm looking through these lineups. I didn't remember guys taking off. Mancini's out. Salvi Perez is out. They just, they just canceled that game, but he wasn't going to be scheduled to be there. I have a hard time thinking Ohtani's not going to play today, but who the hell knows? I mean, if he's out, yeah, I still don't like.
He's not on the slate.
Yeah, he's not even on. It's a late game today anyway, so that doesn't matter. I'm just looking for guys in the Derby that might be out. So keep an eye on that. If you're playing later slate here, I'm not 100% sure if all of the guys in the Derby are going to be out, but we the people, shout out to you, dude. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Should we go stacks or position by position?
Let's do stacks, and then we'll do some one-offs, and that's it. We got 30 minutes here. G Ryzen, if you want to send a link to somebody else, hey, why not? It'll just pop on. Let AP get this thing done, but that's fine. Seems like you can do both. You're a smart guy. So Boston's going to be number one, right? With Nola being scratched. Yeah.
I still think I have the White Sox number one. And my reason why is the guys that have been not hitting well in this lineup are their best hitters. Makata, Abreu's been really good. Tim Anderson, obviously. But if you're looking 4 through 8, we won't include their catcher in today since Collins isn't in. God, they're all hitting the ball really well right now. So I just think they're going to absolutely abuse the Orioles again. We're going to see a lot of runs. We're going to see multiple home runs in this game. I just think it's a really strong stack on the slate. And then, the other one is Boston. Now, my problem with this Boston-Philly series right now is I've been on the wrong side of the zigzag. So I stacked Philly when Boston went off, and I stacked Boston when Philly goes off. So, Holden, my thought is if I go and stack up Boston like I want to, Philly's probably going to go off again. So I got to add some lineups in. I got to stack them both and just deal with it. Otherwise, it's the zigzag theory. I mean, that's a huge thing in DFS.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on Philly a couple of times too. So the Boston lineup, they're going to end up facing a lefty out of the bullpen, but it's just going to be a full bullpen day. They'll go back and forth. I mean, at this point, I really do believe Boston's going to be the chalk then. And there's just no doubt about it. And you can really build anything with them. You can go, I mean, this is the one team that I always feel like I'm stacking the bottom of the order and then wrapping around to the top. Like Vasquez and Dalbec, let's say they're in the lineup today hitting 8-9. And you flip it over, Kike, big home run yesterday. Starting to see this guy, or 2 days ago, he's starting to hit. Verdugo's been mashing. Martinez in his first at bat, if he's facing a lefty, he could go deep. Bogarts and Devers. I'm looking at this Boston stack here. Who do we leave out if we're stacking the bottom? Do you flip over? Like if you go 8-9, would you go 8-9, 2-3-5, 8-9, 2-3-4? Because there's a couple guys in that lineup I don't want out. And I think Verdugo, Martinez, Bogarts, Devers, that's obviously going to be popular, the 2 through 5, but maybe get a little bit different at the bottom of the order, AP.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzalez, we don't need to play him. I mean, I would stick to, I don't know. I like 1 through 7, any of those guys. I mean,
so you wouldn't even mess with the bottom.
Not necessarily. I think there's probably better. What I would do is if I'm trying to stack up the 2 best spots, I would look at the White Sox and the Twins, and I'd try to, find a mini stack to correlate with it, with those positions, if that makes sense.
Okay. And then no Verdugo in a stack. Alex, tell me why you think that. And we're still waiting. We got the lineup coming out here, but they still haven't released it yet. And we're just waiting on it.
Which lineup?
So what's that?
Which lineup?
Boston, but we don't have a Boston lineup.
Oh, yet. I got it.
Oh, here it just popped up. Yeah, Kike, Verdugo, Martinez, Bogarts. Yeah. It's exactly what I thought it was, except Vasquez is hitting 7th, Gonzalez and Arroyo. So that's why you said that, huh? So you didn't like 8-9 because I was under the assumption Vasquez would be hitting lower. So 1 through 7. There is some guys. So maybe you go 3 through 7. I don't know how popular that's going to be, AP. Yeah, a little 3 through 7, like JD, Bogarts, Devers, Renfro, Vasquez, and try and find a one-off if you think that's going to be a popular stack. I think the other one, AP, that we got solid picks he wants. What games are on the slate? Well, you can go check in on DraftKings, but you've got the last games. It's the 4:35 games. So Oakland, Texas, St. Louis, Chicago, those are the later games. Anything that starts around there, those are the later games tonight. The other team I like today, or I don't like today that you brought up that I think is going to be very, very popular has got to be the Twins. No doubt about that. And I don't know how Peralta is doing this. Willie Peralta, he's just come out so far. He's put up monster numbers. Did you see what this dude has done? I mean, it was at Texas and at Cleveland, though. So don't forget, Cleveland's been no hit like 84 times this year. Texas is a great place. And that's why you bring it up, right? Minnesota, lineup's out, and there's just a whole bunch of ways to save salary, too. I mean, Jeffers at catch. Wow, Jeffers is priced up. How do you not go Kepler today? Kepler is down at the bottom of the order at 3.2K against the right-hander. Come on, AP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the thing about Willie Peralta, when I do my first look, I'm looking at what a pitcher's done over the season and then over the last 30 days, just to get like a baseline. And then you got to factor a lot more into that. And I look at him, I'm like, wow, this guy's he's been dealing. And but if you pan out a little bit and look at the much larger sample, this is a guy that gives up 50% hard hit and fly balls to left-handed bats. So the Twins are a team that's also been hitting right-handed pitching really well. Obviously, they have a lineup that can do that with all of these lefties too. So I think we're going to see big-time regression from Peralta. And I don't think the Twins are going to be chalk. I think Red Sox, I think White Sox are going to be chalk. I think the Twins will get some ownership for sure. But as far as like full stacking this team, since they've been such a disaster in these spots, I think that's just going to lower ownership. And I have interest in the lefties here. Krylov, Kepler, RAs, Larnach, all those guys. I think you can play them all. Larnach, how do you say his name?
Larnach. Yeah.
I like the way I pronounce it better, Holden.
Then go for it. I just smile when you do it. I don't correct you anymore, and I let you go. I think it's kind of cool. Good job.
Holden, you should have seen the tennis show with me and Spread, and if you want, that was hilarious. Those names are so hard to pronounce. You get into the Russian players, it's brutal, absolutely brutal.
This is a long time. I was just coming up, and I used to do a show called Tennis Player, Hockey Player, Porn Star. Because some of those tennis, there was a girl named Daja Bendanyova. You would think she's a Russian porn star, but she wasn't. She was a tennis player at the time. And you really can't tell with half the names. So good job out of you getting through that tennis show. I might go back and watch it again. Did you win any money over there in Wimbledon?
A little bit. A little bit. With DFS, you can only play it really the first week. So, because then there's just not enough matches to go around.
So what do we got? We got Alec Boehm is on the IL too because of the COVID with Aaron Nola. A couple of their bullpen arms too, Bailey Falter and Connor Brogdon. Wow. I mean, they're calling up Mauricio Rivera, Damon Jones, and Christopher Sanchez from Lehigh Valley. Holy shit, AP. I mean, I'm going to have a hard time I maybe just eat the chalk there and get different elsewhere. It's going to be a disaster. A bullpen game with 3 guys getting called up from the minors? Come on, dude. Come on.
Well, I think we got to just, the other thing too is, I don't know, it's a Sunday morning. I always like these slates because I feel like most people are going to see this spot, but not everyone. People are going to miss it, and not understand the situation that the Red Sox find themselves in. So they could put up a big number. What is their team total? Has a new number been posted?
Just posted it. I'm probably going to hit it as we speak. Take a guess.
6'5", 6'4".
I'm going to put 2 units on it. No, keep going.
So 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we've been hammering the over on the Red Sox when the Phillies throw their starters out there. Let me just check one more, but at 5.5, that, boy, how do they not get to that is my question. Seriously, how do you not get to 5.5? So, all right.
I like that. I might hop on with you. I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, I probably am betting a little bit too much on this, but I'm absolutely doing it. 5.5. They would have had a total of 5 anyway, so they only bumped it up a half because of this. What a joke!
So I got the playbook up right now.
Okay.
One of the stacks I originally had was the Mets, even though I hate playing them, but they get Chase, DeJong. Are we going to have weather issues in that game? Is that something you said?
That would be the Cubs and the Cardinals. That would be the big one.
Okay. So the Mets are still in play, technically, even though
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. When you, shouldn't they be better when you look at this team kind of on paper? I feel like they should be better than what they are. But I don't know. I probably won't. I mean, I love stacking against this guy. He's not good, but I definitely have them further down the list. I definitely prefer Red Sox, White Sox, Twins, and then the Mets. I still think that this Blue Jays and Rays game, I mean, if you want very low ownership, a lot of upside, a lot of power, and you got two guys, one guy in Rich Hill that's really regressing, and one guy in Robbie Ray that's looked phenomenal, but the hard hits are still there. Both teams have plenty of power. If I'm MME and on the slate, I would definitely pull out some random one-offs from there. It's going to be tough to avoid some of these stacks. I mean, the White Sox and Red Sox are just in too good of spots.
Yep, no doubt about it. Al M, I like it when you go position by position. I grasp the slate. My builds are better. First of all, are you a member? If you are, great. There's ways to go through the playbook. AP will have that up soon. We got our cores.
Yeah.
Second of all, though, I want to bring this up because after doing this show with these guys for, this is our second season now, or season and a half. These are stack builders. And if you want to really get their process more than anything else, find the teams that they're on. And then we go back and we look at the one-offs. We're not going to break down every single player. And I just don't think you are a subscriber. What up, Al? It's terrific. Thank you very much, A, for being a subscriber. But second of all, I mean, get in the Discord. If you've got one-offs that you need to know about, get in the Discord. Ask the coordinators. They're always there. There's always guys in there. One of our analysts. But again, for me, I think during the week on the free show, it's great to go position by position. But by the time we're getting close to locking, what you need to know more than anything else, what stacks are these guys on? And then we'll point out some we'll point out some one-offs. Also, be like Al, the smart guy who signed up for Run Pure Sports. Open 50, OPEN, and the number 50. Open 50% off your first payment. And Tuesday and Wednesday, the boys have golf shows, and they will be giving out $100 tickets to contests as the Open, the British Open, is right here. And we are going to go through the rest of them, guys. We're going to go through some one-offs too. So Detroit, Minnesota. So Minnesota, Boston has got to be number one. I'm trying to find a sneaky stack today. There's going to be a sneaky stack. The question is, which stack is it? Is it Philadelphia? Because everybody will be on the Boston side, right? That's one question. You brought up the Mets a little bit. Would the Mets be okay? Toronto at Tampa Bay. These are all teams we played before. KC and Cleveland, again, that's postponed. No Aaron Nola today for the Phillies. Who are also missing a bullpen arm or two bullpen arms because of the COVID deal. So anything else I'm missing here? Like Yankees, Astros. Are we just staying off of that?
I mean, yesterday main slate, I was on the Yankees game and Astros. And that's more so like I knew the Dodgers were in a phenomenal spot. I wanted to get different. I forced myself to get different, and I regret doing it. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I just, I feel like, because now I'm going back and looking at the Blue Jays and Rays, and the problem is like, man, do you really want to stack up Toronto when even if Rich Hill busts, they got that bullpen that's good, and I mean you got to get your points early out of those guys, and so I just think it goes back to, man, it's going to be batting practice for these, for Boston, for the White Sox. So I hate to be repetitive, but yeah, I mean, Holden, you know me. When we get on these things, I'm not gonna like sit here and bullshit and try to like find plays just to find plays. You know what I mean? It's what we got to do is focus on how to make, how to maximize our stack and then how to get different. So I think we can get different, with pitching. I think you can get different by how you're stacking up the lineup. And then, you can get contrarian by, I think Philly. We've seen this series has produced a ton of runs. So I have no issues with Philly at all. I think that this game could go absolutely off the Philly and Red Sox game.
Let me just go check out a little bit of weather here because even if it's in the low 80s, here we go. It's going to be in the upper 70s, low 80s, and they're not supposed to have any rain till 4 o'clock. You're going to be fine. That's even a chance of that. It's going to be 80% humidity. So the ball is going to fly, makes the air lighter. Boy. Okay. Everything's pointing to let's keep going with that. We the people, Holden trying to get out of here, rushing to get out anyways. That's a complete misnomer. We sit on here, we do 2-3 hour shows on the Up to Lock. The only reason I got to get out today is because we got the bet show at the top of the hour. And
I got to finish up content.
Yeah, we're getting the hell out of here very soon.
We got excuses.
Solid picks. Real quick, solid picks. If you got 20 teams, how do you choose how much Red Sox, White Sox, etc.? As far as exposure.
Here's the thing. What I would do is I would just try to get all in on those stacks, and because 20, you have 20 builds. You could, if you had 150 builds, you could literally X out all these other teams and just go all in on those stacks, maybe include some one-offs, but you just have so many different combinations. So my goal would be have a very defined player pool or teams you're stacking and get as many different combinations as you can. But make a stand. And if you're going to go, like if you're going to target which, what could be a popular, stack to target, make sure you're going all in on it at least to get overweight. That's kind of what I would do. So, and we got to figure that, White Sox, Red Sox, that's going to be the popular way to go. And I don't see how you necessarily avoid it. It is baseball though. It is baseball though. We always talk about it. You can get different. It wouldn't surprise me. Maybe, the Philly bullpen, maybe they're, some heroes step up and, maybe you get a hungover Red Sox team. I'm struggling to see it.
Yeah, I'm with you, pal. I'm looking at it right now, and let's just do some one-offs then. I'll throw catcher out there. If you're on Boston, fine. If you want to go somewhere else, Vasquez at 3.5 on DK. I don't know if I really want to go there. I'm going to tell you the guy I like though. If you're doing a White Sox stack, don't forget about Sebi Zavala. It's a kid that's hitting.
I got him in there.
Yeah, you got him in there? Beautiful. Don't forget about Sebi Zavala. He's really cheap. He's 2K on FanDuel. He's 2.3 on DraftKings. He's hitting 9th today, but don't forget there might be guys on base for him. And if he gets on base, it'll wrap around to the top of the order. So that's a play that I don't mind. I think that would be my one-off at catcher. Him and Danny Jansen, as we call him, Donnie Johnson. That's what they call him up in Canada. Today, Jansen's out there, and if you think they go off, he's always a guy that I like. I think he's a little bit better, unfortunately, against right-handers, right? Yeah, he's a little better against right-handers, so maybe this isn't a great day to play him. I'm just going to stick with Sebi. That'll be my guy. I got 2 lineups today. Sebi will be a one-off in one of them.
Yeah, no, I have no problems with that. I'm kind of looking at, Real Muto, he's usually popular, but I think today we see people correlate catcher with their stacks, which would make Vasquez, a fairly popular option, and rightfully so. Real Muto's interesting, obviously in a Boston Philly stack. Ryan Jeffers, another guy, and then Gary Sanchez. So, and then your guy. Outside of that, there's a lot of really bad options at catcher today as well.
Your guy.
That's your boy, right? Sebi?
Sebi, that's my boy, dude. That is my boy, Sebi. I love Sebi. First base then. Again, this is where RPS a little bit different. Our guys stack. Some guys just do one-offs and they build their lineups that way and they win and go for it. If that's the way you do it. But again, if you're stacking first base more often than not, you're going to have the first baseman from your stack, right? But if there is anybody else that you're looking at, what are you saying, AP? You think, am I wrong there?
Well, if you're stacking Boston today, they don't have an eligible first baseman, for DraftKings. So
no Dahlbeck.
I'm looking at, Jose Abreu.
Hey, he thought we needed help, so he hops on. JSU AirPod has joined us. Hello, JSU AirPod.
What the fuck is going on this
not
show?
good
I
news.
mean,
that is not good news because he comes in. That means something was definitely wrong. Did G Rising?
Well, I mean, geez, I'm driving. I'm driving. I'm going. I had to go to my parents' house real quick, and I'm driving back, and I'm getting these messages from G Rising saying, "Hey, you want to hop on or something like that?" So, I'm literally in the car. I'm like, "Yeah, I probably can't hop on from the car," so I'm speeding down the road trying to get here just to see. I saw AP on a show. I got excited real quick. I'm like, "Where the fuck is G Rising?" What would happen? His internet drop off?
Yeah, he's got that 1999 Prodigy internet. When you were like 6 years old, that was the internet they used.
Yeah, I don't even know if I was born at that time. I probably was.
Be honest with us. How much have you looked at this slate? I'm not worried if you didn't.
No, I've looked at this slate.
Yeah?
I definitely I know you guys probably already talked about pitcher, but no Joey Gallo in this Texas lineup. I mean, Chris Bassett, are we shoving Chris Bassett now? I mean, yeah. Robbie Ray, Chris Bassett are the two best pitchers on the slate.
What did I tell you? If you would have listened, you'd have known all JSU's picks already. Robbie Ray and Chris Bassett.
I had to get my second coffee too, so I've been up, Holden. I've been up for a while now, but second coffee, I'm ready to go.
Now I gotta do the bet show in 10 minutes. So as everybody says, I hop out early, but that's okay. Now, Quentin, let me just give you a scientific update here. Humidity makes the air heavier, right? No, it doesn't. It's actually got the water molecules in there. They're all bouncing around faster. The air is actually lighter in humidity, which is why we want high humidity. So when you got high heat, air is is less dense. Got humidity, air is lighter too. Boom. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect conditions. So if you get heat and humidity like they have in the East Coast, a lot of times that's going to be great.
Poetic breakdown there, Holden.
Thank you. I mean, I do a lot of work that way. That's why you guys give me the big bucks. So JSU, we were talking about stacks too. Let's do it. Okay. What do you got? Because Boston now has a bullpen day against Philadelphia with no Nola. Like they should put up 20 runs.
Yeah, I mean it's tough not to play some Boston, right? Just I kind of like both sides though of that game. Is the Philly side not interesting to anyone? Just like they've been hitting well too. So I think the Boston side should get more interest, but I definitely think we should be looking at this Philly lineup a little bit more. Pavetta, he's been really good, but I still think you can like stack against him in like large field GPPs. The White Sox are going to be the chalk, right? That's going to.
I think Boston might be the chalk now, dude. Does it really matter? But I just look at Boston, man. They're so lined up to just crush today.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota. I want to stack Minnesota, but they never friggin' get it done. They're like the absolute worst team. I feel every single time I feel like they're in a good spot, they never come through for you. It's gonna hurt my feelings if I have to stack them up in one lineup, but I really shouldn't because they never come through. I think Toronto might be really interesting. All these price tags and Rich Hill, he's got some nasty stuff at times and he can get some Ks, but he can also give up some home runs at time. And if you look at some of his games, 2 games ago against Washington, gives up 3 home runs. Like this is a lot of right-handed power from these Toronto bats. I know it's a pitcher's ballpark, but I'm never afraid to play Vladdy and Semien, and you got Donnie Johnson in the 2K catcher spot, right, Holden? That's your guy,
Johnson, baby.
Yeah. Teoscar. Yeah, I mean, I think Toronto's a real interesting stack. The Pirates? What do we got? Pirates and the Mets here. That game's got no weather, right? Right. Holden?
No, the only weather we're looking at now, because the Royals Tribe was canceled, is Cubs and Cardinals, and it doesn't seem like there's much we're going to think about there. Even though your boy Wainwright's on the mound, we're not bothering with that, are we?
I would love to play Wainwright if the weather wasn't a real issue, but I would be in on Wainwright for sure.
I know you would.
I would play him over like Pablo Lopez, who's going to be popular, and but Jose Barrios, like all those guys in that mid-tier range, I would have him over all those guys, but I just don't think the weather's going to hold up. And we got a bullpen game for the Mets, pretty much.
And it's looking like that too.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some cheap – you want to talk about a team with some cheap plays. Jonathan VR at third base, if you need like he's been hitting better of late. He's 3,800. It's in the 7-hole. No one's going to play him. Lindor's 4K still. He started to turn it on a little bit. I mean, and then you got like the min price guys from Pittsburgh. If you need some cheap guys, they got 2,700. The first baseman. How do you say his name, Holden?
Nagowski.
Thank you very much.
You like John Nagowski? Could he one off, or you can't one off Nagowski? Can you?
No, I think. I mean, you could. I guess he's cheap enough. I'm just saying, if you needed like a cheap batter too, they got Gamel for min price 2K. So you got some cheap bats in that game. Kind of like the Mets side a little bit more, but this slate, I feel like everyone's just going to go White Sox and Boston. You're right.
But that's not – I mean, again, the Bassett-Ray combo, I don't know how popular that's going to be honest with you.
The Bassett-Ray combo is my favorite combo.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's going to be tough to get 5 Boston bats in there with the Bassett-Ray, but this is why we're doing this. We're trying to find some lower-owned guys, right?
Yeah.
And because Vasquez is one of your guys. Vasquez is one of your guys from the Red Sox. I mean, I want to use him in a stack too. Like, if I'm going there, go look at the Boston lineup because AP and I discussed this.
Did they put Bobby Dahl back in there?
No, he's not in there today.
Damn it.
I don't even think you could play a first baseman from Boston today. It's Marwin.
So they got I hate Marwin.
I know.
He's like the one guy I never play. Oh, God. Yeah, Didi's hitting 5th today, Alex says in the chat. I do like Didi at shortstop as well. Yeah, I'm not in love with the bottom of the Red Sox lineup either. I mean, Arroyo's not bad. You could play him. I'm not going to play Marwin. Marwin might be the only guy I would leave out of the Red Sox. Like, if I could play 8 of these hitters because I could play Arroyo and wrap it around. He's cheap enough. But yeah, I would definitely have liked that lineup with Dahlback more.
Let me ask you this, JSU, because you like the Bassett. That's great, and Robbie Ray too. But what do you think? Going back to pitching real quick, Pablo Lopez, Acuna-less Braves lineup does have some upside, right? Like, could he be the third guy then?
Oh, from like a point per dollar standpoint, yeah, he's definitely got massive upside. The problem is I think everyone's going to go there. They're going to put together Ronald Acuna out, Pablo Lopez in that ballpark, which we all know it's a ballpark where you can target pitching. Everything kind of lines up for people to just go there because he's so cheap. I mean, it's kind of a spot where I want to be under or just not play him at all. My issue is Adam Wainwright was going to be my pivot in that range, and I need to find a different pivot or just pay up for both my pitchers and all my lineups. And people like who you've listened to me on these shows and stuff like that. So I normally play like 3 to 4 lineups. And when I do that, I don't normally go all in on 2 pitchers ever. Sometimes maybe I'll go all in on 1, but a lot of times I'll just be overweight on 2 pitchers. So like, if I play 4 lineups, I'll have like 75% of 2 pitchers, and then I'll put 2 other pitchers that I like in there. So like today it's going to be Ray and Bassett for sure are the 2 overweight pitchers for me. And then, I could still go kind of underweight with Lopez because I think he's going to be popular. Berrios is another guy I don't mind in the 8K range. I'm not playing Ian Anderson. I feel like the upside's just not there. I just can't do it. Woodruff, I'm going to spend up for the other 2 guys, so I probably won't play Woodruff. The only other guy, and I know I said we can talk about the Philly bats, but I still think you could also play Nick Pivetta. I think it's one of those games where you could either go the pitching route or you could try and stack against him. But I don't hate Pivetta. I mean, we've seen the crazy upside in 2 of his last 3 games. 8 and 10 strikeouts at Tampa and at Oakland. Both are a little better ballparks for pitchers, but he's probably going to be pretty low owned. I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I think so. Back to the hitting side. We were going through catcher, just as one-offs and stuff like that. Sebi Zavala is my guy. He's 2-3. He's hitting ninth for the White Sox in a game where they could score a ton of runs, especially if you're doing a wraparound stack with the White Sox. Not a bad idea, but as a one-off on 2K on FanDuel, DraftKings at 2-3 JSU. I can't pass that up. I think that'll be my catcher one-off today. And Danny Johnson going against the lefty. I
can't believe Danny Johnson isn't in all your lineups.
He's against the lefty, though.
AP, no one strokes off the Danny Johnson more than Holden.
It's true.
Oh, gosh.
But he loves himself some Danny Johnson.
But did you see? I mean, he just doesn't hit lefties like he hits righties. He's got a 170 ISO against righties.
He is 2K, Holden.
I know. Well, I'd rather have Sebi.
That's fine. Play Sebi. I mean, Sebi's going to be. It doesn't really matter. They're both, they're both cheap. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I like both those guys.
Okay.
I don't mind paying down a catcher.
The bets guys will deal with it. We're going to hang out. Well, let's break this down here at JSU. Because Joey Work and JJ can talk for a million hours. They'll just be
Joey Work's good. Joey Work, just yell at Holden.
No, they're on the air right now.
Being there. Yeah, exactly. Joey, yell at Holden for not being there. Make fun of him, do all that stuff. We'll get out of here in a second.
No, I'm not worried about it. Let's have some fun. First base today. I'm looking at? I like a couple of these Twins lefties. I think Kirilloff is a guy that could pop today. Max Kepler is probably my play of the day, but what do you think of Kirilloff? Any other first baseman?
I'm making a rule that you should, like the Twins, this is how much the Twins don't get it done. You should literally play only one-offs with the damn Twins because they are the most annoying team to stack in the world.
I know. Listen, I'm right there with you, but I think there's two guys from the Twins today I like, and it's Kirilloff and Kepler. Those are my guys. Don't full stack them. Never do it. I don't mind. Is two too many?
No, it's fine. They're two cheap guys. I mean, you could play Minnesota. I'm just every time I play them, they just never come through. So it's just stuck in my head.
I know. It's just the whole season they've sucked. It's been awful to have to watch, but I mean, that's what we got. That's what we got out of them right now. Second base, anybody standing out to you at second base today? Kike's kind of been on fire. I wouldn't say fire, but he's in a nice spot. Saw him blast a home run a couple of days ago. That looked pretty good. Your boy Altuve's up against a right-hander, but then again, it's a weak right-hander today with Jameson Taillon on the mound. Domingo Labia, just wanted to say him. Love his name. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like Jazz Chisholm a little bit here, 3,700 against Anderson. Pretty cheap price tag for Jazz too, kind of going down a little bit, but I do like him a lot. If you were playing Twins, Polanco, I think you could play. The price tag is cheap. Kike, if I'm spending up, it's Kike and Semien actually today. So I like both those guys.
Kike and Semien. Third base. Whoo, we're going up and down. Devers is obviously going to be a great play. Rodolfo Castro. I don't know how much you guys know about him. He's 2-1 FanDuel, 2K on DraftKings. If second base, he popped a home run the other day, and he's in the lineup today. It's just a name I'm throwing out there against Aaron Loop. That would be about it. I don't love one off in the third base position today, JSU, because I think, as far as Boston goes, they got a pretty good one there. Yeah,
I mean, these Pittsburgh guys, man, they are cheap. You can get a Pittsburgh stack for friggin' nothing. I mean, these price tags are wild. But the third base pool, I mean, obviously you could just spend right up to Devers. I'm sure Moncada is going to be popular because he's in that White Sox stack that's going to be really popular. People might see people are going to see that and just plug them in their stacks. But I like going down to two guys. Jonathan VR, I already talked about a little bit for the Mets. He's been hitting pretty well. And Luis Urias, I think is how you say his name, from Urias from Milwaukee, 3,900, starting to turn it on. I don't mind taking some bats against Castillo. So 3,900 seems like a pretty cheap price tag for him.
All right. Oh, I like the Villar call too. Not bad. Okay, where are we going? Outfield now? We ready to go to the outfield? Did I miss anything? I always feel like I missed one position, but
Yeah, because you always miss shortstop, but we've already
fucking hate shortstop. These goddamn
always
cocksuckers.
miss shortstop.
I know.
Every single time you do these shows, you
You're
miss
right.
shortstop.
I hate it.
I don't know what it is.
I think I just hate people that are shortstops. It's
yeah,
very
you
annoying.
must. Which is funny because like all the studs play in the shortstop.
I know, right?
Like the best athletes, all the best athletes are shortstops pretty much. Like
except for Derek Jeter.
It's like when you were in Little League, the best player always played short. Like the best athlete was always the shortstop. You know, they'd always put him in like the key positions.
What do you think of Lindor then? He's got Chase Young today. That might be a guy that you could one off.
Well, I definitely think Lindor, Didi Gregorius at shortstop, both two guys I like. If I'm spending down, and then obviously going up, you could just play like these three guys at the top: Timmy Anderson, Xander, Bo Bichette, all pretty solid options. I would probably go Xander 1, Bo 2, Timmy 3, but I don't mind spending down to like the Didi Lindor range.
Okay. Then outfield will be the final one. You can always find some value here. By the way, our boy Sed Mullins, 3-5 on DraftKings today. I know it's been 3 days.
I like him as a one-off.
How do you not
want a cheap one-off? I mean,
you know what? Screw Kepler. I mean, I love Kepler, I really do. But now I'm staring him right in the face, dude. How many times has Cedric Mullins just gone off this year? I actually love this play. That's it. That's my new play of the day, dude. How do you Kepler or Mullins? And I know it's a couple $100 difference on DK. Mullins all day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ced Mullins too. Yeah, so we got Cedric Mullins there. Who are some of the other guys? Maybe we can save a little bit of money, or guys that you just want to pay up for. Like, so Kepler's one of my guys. Hunter Renfro, are we okay with Renfro today? I don't think he's a one-off. He's got to be in the stack though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably because Boston's going to be popular. I would probably stack them up.
Okay, Boston's popular. So Cedric Mullins is the one-off. Kepler's the one-off. Who are the other one-offs? What about Andrew Vaughan hitting 7th today?
I mean, he's going to be popular, right?
Yeah, you're right. He's going to be far. He'll be down in the order though. He'll be batting 7th. How about?
I mean, he's cheap. He's in one of the best ballparks for hitting in Baltimore. Like, in a popular stack. Yeah, if I'm stacking it, I definitely like going with that. At least that 7, 8. You know, down there, and then maybe it's the 7, 8, 9 with the catcher, right? That's your boy, and then you wrap it to like Timmy Anderson. You know, that might be my favorite way of stacking the White Sox.
I think Andrew McCutchen should be fine today. He's at 3-2 against Pivetta, who is hittable. McCutchen's actually been hitting really well. He's been hitting really well. So that's a guy I'll just throw out there as a one-off. That would be it. If you're stacking Philadelphia, I feel like you got to have him in there. What about DC's boy, Akil Baddoo today against a right-hander in Peralta? Or not Peralta, Barrios, who's a little bit better of a pitcher, but could you use Baddoo today or no?
Yeah, you could. You could go with him as just like a cheap one-off play, I think. If you want to spend up though, like, you know, it's tough to not look at these Boston guys, but Bryce Harper in the same game, I think you can still pick a stud one-off if you want to against Pivetta. Brian Reynolds for Pittsburgh. God, I started talking about Pittsburgh way too much. I better have one Pittsburgh stack just in case.
Oh, man.
I do like Reynolds, though. Let's see. Anyone else just sticking out? Teoscar is 4K for Toronto. I think that's a cheap price tag. Yeah, Ced Mullins. Yeah, I think we talked about a good amount. I don't want to list a ton of them because I'm only going to play like
good.
5 or 6.
Done.
So
AP got the show off basically since you hopped on. He owes you a thank you. And besides for that, let's get out of here. So I go do the
allowed me to clean up the content.
Yeah, good job, buddy. JSU, give him a little bow right there.
I swooped in to save AP so he could get the stuff done.
Open 50 is the promo code. Open 50, 50% off your first payment. Boys will be giving away $100 ticket on the golf shows. We got golf shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. You get JSU's core this morning. Got a whole bunch of AP. Did the playbook. So many things you could do. I think was that G Ryzen or AP that on our Run Pure Sports said thank you JSU. But anyways, thank you JSU. Appreciate you hopping on, pal.
Someone said rank top 4 pitchers before going. So I'm gonna go Robbie Ray, Bassett, Jose Berrios, and then I'm gonna go Pavetta. If you want to get crazy, I think those are the only 4 pitchers I'm gonna consider paying. But Pavetta is like the lower owned play of the day.
Solid
I guess.
picks wants a play of the day. My guy's now Cedric Mullins with Kepler right behind him. Who's your favorite play, JSU AirPod?
Favorite play.
AP, you got a favorite play? Give JSU a second here. Who's your guy?
Man. Like a one-off or just Bassett, I'd move way up on my list too. He might be in my main core actually. That when I reran the numbers and looked at that with that lineup, he's got a ton of upside. So JSU, you're not on Pablo Lopez at all? Am I getting trapped into that spot? I like Pablo. He's done well for me.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I just think everyone's going to go there. So I'm trying to find a way to. Wainwright was my way. When I looked at it early before I saw the weather, I was like, oh yeah, perfect. I'm just going to play Wainwright, move on. You guys know I have a Wainwright problem. So that was my plan, and then the weather doesn't look great, so. I'm probably still not going to play him though. Here's the thing too: is if I don't play Pablo,
oh man,
I should probably look at some Atlanta bats. But I mean,
to let you guys know, if you have anything from the Cubs today, the Jordan Bastian, who covers the Cubs now, said there was a staffer removing helmets from the dugout. He asked the staffer if it was postponed. The guy said no comment. So tread very, 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 very lightly on that Cubs-Cardinals game.
It's going to be postponed, pretty much, is what you're saying.
Well, you can draw your own conclusion. How about that?
I mean, I just drew it. Okay.
I mean, you weren't messing with that game anyway.
I'm gonna steal Holden's boy, Max Kepler. I like that. I think I like where he's at in the order. He's going to keep his ownership down. Peralta is going to get hit by these lefties. I don't think he's going to keep dealing like he has.
And I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm at 3,700.
I like that.
Jazz.
Yeah, congrats to the intern running the Marlins Twitter account yesterday, who started tweeting stuff out about the home run and how Acuna fell on the play. Yeah, that worked out well for you, buddy. That sucks. That really hurts. One of the best players in the game. So much excitement. All right, I'm going to go do the bet side, guys. If you want to join that, go to Run Pure Bets. It's the YouTube side. And JSU, thanks for hopping on, pal. I don't know how much we're working this week with the baseball stuff, but always good to see you most of the time. And AP, thank you, pal. Take care of yourself, okay?
Yeah, you guys as well.
Steve Anthony, I must say, great show, guys. Your bar is pretty low. I'm just going to remember that going forward, okay?
Steve's a good guy.
I love him. I'm just telling the truth. All right, G Ryzen, get us out of here. I'm out of here. Talk to you later, boys.